All right, so it's 2025, and let's be real, AI is, well, it's everywhere. But here's the thing, there's this huge paradox playing out. Pretty much every company is dipping its toes in the water, but only a tiny fraction are actually, winning with it. So today, we're going to dig into that, what we're calling AI's Great Divide, all based on some fresh research from McKinsey.
Okay, first up, just look at how widespread this is. I mean, a staggering 88% of organizations are now using AI in some part of their business. That's that's almost 9 out of every 10 companies. So yeah, you could say adoption is officially mainstream. But, and this is a big but, this is where the story starts to get really interesting. Because for all that adoption, the actual impact, not so much. Turns out only 39% of those companies, that's less than 4 in 10, are seeing any real measurable effect on their bottom line. I mean, think about that. That is a massive gap between just using AI and actually getting something valuable out of it.
So this leads us to the big question, right? What in the world separates the winners from, well, everyone else? What's the secret sauce? How do you go from just messing around with AI to getting real, tangible, bottom line results?
Well, the research actually gives this group a name. They call them AI high performers. And these are the elite few, the organizations that can point to over 5% of their profits and say, yeah, that came from AI. They're the ones reporting significant value. So they're the ones who have cracked the code. Let's take a look at their playbook, shall we?
The first big difference, and this is crucial, it's not actually about the tech. It's about mindset. It's about ambition. Get this, a full half of these AI high performers are aiming to fundamentally transform their entire business with AI. Compare that to just 14% of everybody else. So you see, they're not just trying to do the same old things a little bit faster. No, they're trying to do completely new things to change the game entirely. And that ambition, it flows right into their strategy. See, almost everyone uses AI to try and cut costs. That's kind of the low-hanging fruit. But the high performers, they're just as focused on growth and innovation. They're using AI as a real engine to create new products, to break into new markets, and to totally reimagine how their business even works.
Okay, but ambition is one thing, right? It's the action that really counts. And here's where it gets real. High performers don't just, plug AI into their old dusty processes. No way. Over half of them are fundamentally redesigning their workflows around what AI can do. Think about it like this. They're not just automating the existing assembly line. They're literally rebuilding the entire factory from the ground up.
And of course, none of this happens in a vacuum. You need leaders who are all in. I'm talking time, capital, even their own personal reputation on the line. For these top companies, leadership isn't just signing off on a budget. It's active, visible commitment. Their senior execs are 3 times more likely to really own and champion these AI initiatives. Clearing the path, getting rid of roadblocks, and celebrating the wins for everyone to see. So, if we put all these pieces together, what do we get? We get the high performer playbook. It's pretty clear. Step 1, you need active leadership. Leaders who don't just sign the checks, but really champion the vision. 2, you've got to radically redesign how work gets done, not just sprinkle a little AI on top of your old ways. 3, you need a crystal clear roadmap, going after specific, high-value projects one by one. And finally, number 4, you have to build in systems for human oversight, a human in the loop, to make sure AI is a tool you control, not the other way around. At the end of the day, it's that powerful mix of a bold vision and just really disciplined execution. Okay, so when you hear about all this aggressive, transformative change, it naturally brings up a really big question, right? What does all this mean for us, for our jobs? And, well, the answer is definitely not as simple as you might think. Yeah, there is absolutely no simple consensus here. Look at the numbers. About a third of companies think their workforce will shrink over the next year because of AI. But the biggest group, 43%, actually expect no change at all. And then you've got this surprising 13% who think they're going to hire more people. So this idea that it's a simple story of robots taking all the jobs, the data just doesn't back that up. Actually, what the data really points to is a massive story of reskilling. And guess who's leading that charge? Yep, it's those AI high performers again. So while some roles might be scaled back, these companies are aggressively, I mean aggressively, hiring for new AI talent. We're talking software engineers, data engineers, AI data scientists, the whole shebang. So you see, it's not just about losing jobs. It's about a fundamental shift in the kind of skills that companies need to win.
And this all circles back to a really powerful thought from Alexander Sukarevsky. He's a senior partner at McKinsey. He basically says that the real path to becoming a high performer isn't about taking tiny, cautious little steps. Nope. It's about having leaders who pursue a bold, transformative agenda. It's about betting big on AI, not just to make the business a little bit better, but to completely reinvent it from the inside out.
So we'll leave you with this one final question to chew on. When you look at your own company or even just your own career, is the AI strategy built for, small, safe, incremental gains? Or is it built for that kind of bold, game-changing transformation that really truly separates the winners from everyone else in this new era?